Firework tariffs 2025. Kind of a big deal, not gonna lie. What the heck is going on? What is a tariff? How is this going to affect us as customers? Well, a tariff happens to be a government issued tax on imported goods. It's often used to protect domestic industries, generate revenue, and influence trade policies. Now, these tariffs are typically calculated as a percentage of the value of that imported good. These imported goods being fireworks. Now, what the heck is going on with all this stuff? And why am I making a video about it? Well, here's the thing, this is turning out to be a pretty big deal. I've got tons of people messaging me to make a video on it. At first, I was like, yeah, this will probably just blow over. Well, it's looking like it's going to do anything but blow over. As you know, this is a firework channel. This is not a politics channel. I don't get into politics. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care what you do in your free time. And if I don't care what you do in your free time, I certainly don't care who you voted for, okay? I don't ever like discussing politics on this channel. It's something that I strive to just stay completely clear of. So, what we're going to be doing today is tackling the question, how will these tariffs impact our firework industry? And how will they impact you as a customer? Even me, I'm also a firework customer. We're going to try to keep it as straightforward as that. And to be completely honest, I don't know the first thing about firework tariffs, how they're going to affect. I'm not an importer, but I know several people who are. And because I know a lot of these industry leaders, I thought it would be a good idea to just reach out to them because ultimately, if it's going to affect them, then they would probably have the best way to explain it to you guys. If I just sit here and blab about how I feel about it, you probably won't be getting the best information just because this isn't directly affecting me. So let's get some of these guys on the phone and see what the heck is going on with these firework tariffs in 2025. How do you think the new firework tariffs will impact firework companies around the nation?
For firework companies who are, importing the product from China, it's kind of all over the place, and things are changing daily. Some people got the majority of their product in pre-tariff. Some are getting a good chunk of it in during the tariffs, unfortunately, and a lot of them have even canceled orders. So there's going to be some cost averaging going on. The supply chain is pretty solid for July 4th, 2025. For the consumer side of it, I don't think outside of maybe some, necessary cost increases that I think would be on the lower end going into this 4th of July. The warehouses are pretty well stocked from what I know. The bigger question will be going into the 250th anniversary of the country next year, July 2026, and the impact from what's already been created with potential supply chain issues going into next year. So it's been changing. If you watch the news, it's sometimes changes twice a day. So it's hard to really put numbers on and keep up with where we think it's going. We do hope that this is resolved sooner than later, and we've been working hard with the APA and the NFA to try and get to that point and find a resolution. The National Fireworks Association and the American Pyrotechnics Association have been working together almost daily, sometimes multiple meetings a day, and we'll provide you with a link to take you to a website set up by Voter Voice, and there are already drafted letters in there with links to help make it super easy for people to complete that and get those letters sent off to the correct people in their respective states to try and get our message heard.
All right, thank you, Ed.
So how it will impact us as a business is, I mean, it's less and less inventory that we can purchase. I mean, we basically, by the time we're going to pay these 170% duty fees, or these tariff fees, I mean, but they go into your duty, um, you know, we could have either got containers or like opened up 5 new locations, so we're having to halt expansions. I have like 11 new lease agreements that I was going to sign this year, and I'm probably not going to sign 5 of them. Like, we'll probably have 6 new locations, and I won't open up all of our stores because we're not, we are going to get a total of 80% of our inventory right now. And I have a lot of pre-tariff fireworks. I do have 3 that are en route right now that are going to be greatly impacted by the tariffs. And then, what that means for us is that stuff will have certainly COVID-like prices because of the the imposed tariffs. Because, like I said, it's a tax on the businesses, and then that tax is ultimately going to be trickled down in the supply chain who consumes our stuff, and that's the end consumer, unfortunately. Now, again, we are only raising prices, and there's, as a business, we've decided, and whatever other people do is totally their business, not mine. Which we're gonna look kind of funky doing it, but like we're gonna have like, a lot of reasonable stuff, and then we're gonna have several, different new, even bringing in Happy Family and Rockio, like this is going to be a tariff container, and people are going to be like, my goodness, why is this stuff so much more expensive than everything else? So,
Right.
but that's just what we've done, decided as an industry, is whatever had appropriate pricing is going to be appropriately priced. We're not going to, all the pre-tariff product, we are not going to raise prices on, just the 3 containers that are about to ship out. So that's basically what we're trying to do as an industry. And it's, I mean, really, man, it's like people are learning a lot around this time. Like, it's tough to navigate. Stuff is changing. It's a revolving door, So trying to get the most up-to-date information is certainly paramount in this situation. What the anticipated amount of extra costs associated with these 3 containers that we are getting in is going to be up to about $250,000.
Oh,
So
boy.
that extra $250,000 is potentially, potentially, I got to see like where, all like we're trying to keep up too, because like I've been hearing, cell phones are being exempt. There's certain things that are being exempted from this. And I think there's good cause and there's grounds to make us an exempted list because of, again, such a seasonal business. And then we have so much red tape in America to make products that will never happen. So if we can't make it here, what are we to do? China makes 99% of consumer fireworks. So that is another cause for an exemption list, because our hands are tied. We can't just start opening up factories around the United States with, ATF, OSHA, Consumer Product Safety Guidelines.
Yeah.
It's just a total, it would be a nightmare. So with that anticipated $250,000 that we're going to have to pay extra, again, with the paying more for way less.
Right.
So that is ultimately going to have a trickle down, and we are going to have to, like, full transparency, we will have to charge more and raise prices on certain things.
Is there anything new for 2025 that you'd like to let your customers know about? Any exciting new products or deals? Like the depressing stuff aside, is there anything fun
Right.
happening?
No, the 4th of July, falling on a Friday this year. We're growing in certain states. We're getting a new store in Sturgis, South Dakota.
Oh, that's
We've
cool.
got at the Buffalo Chip Fairground there. We've got 6 stores that are going to open up in Wichita, Kansas, kind of in my hometown. Product is at an all-time excitement. Lots of a lot of anticipatory products that are going to be very key for the 250th anniversary next year. Lots of like great red, white, blue themes. Lots and lots to certainly offer. Our deals and specials are going to be, holy crap, we have 80% of our products at a pre-tariff price, where it's like, I just, like COVID, I just do not want to raise prices all across the board, because I don't want sticker shock in our community, because then we, create this panic, like, okay, I want fireworks, but I don't need them that bad, so hopefully if stuff's reasonable kind of throughout, the United States, and people going into their local fireworks store and things like that, I think hopefully customers understand, and will, all of our great loyal customers, they understand, and they will, come support us time and time again, and get through hopefully this just one bump in the road that we have, because it's kind of, we're approaching the perfect storm. Friday this year, next year, 250th anniversary of the United States, falling on a Saturday. So, I just hope something like this hiccup doesn't, impact future sales.
Well, I look forward to seeing you soon. How will the new firework tariffs impact you as a company? And this is separate from your customers. So, how is it going to affect your company?
This year, the new tariffs won't affect us drastically because almost every container was already received by now. I think we had one or two containers on the water. So they'll get hit with I believe it's 54% or 59.3% tariff. They won't get hit with the insane tariffs that we're looking at now.
Yeah, wasn't it something like 100, something crazy?
Yeah, it's 100 and a quarter right now.
That's a lot.
For your reference, a 59.3% tariff increases our landed cost roughly 40%. A 20% tariff increases our landed cost roughly 14%.
How will the new firework tariffs impact your customers?
This year, it's not going to affect our customers at all because we've chosen to, I guess, eat any increase that there might be. I said we were fortunate enough to have most of our cans on the water already. But the marginal increase that we will have, anywhere from 20 to 50%, we are going to eat and try and keep our prices as low as we can in hopes that this passes. There's a lot of new products this year that I'm really excited about. I think we ordered about 80% new product with about 20% just restock. Got some nice new shells coming in from Miracle, a lot of nice new novelties from Miracle, so I'm really looking forward to those. Even sprinkling in some Supreme product this year. That's stuff that we typically haven't carried in the past, so I'm looking forward to seeing the variety that we get.
Me too. How is it going to affect a guy like you who is an importer?
Well, basically, with the tariffs going up so high, all of a sudden, um, what most people did in the industry and what I had to do myself was to spend all future containers for now. So whatever ones are on the water, they're still coming in. What other ones were supposed to go on the water this week and even April 16th and stuff, they're not going. I'll be in China April 23rd by the time I get to where I have to go. I'll be there April 23rd. So right now I suspended everything till at least April 23rd till I get there. Hopefully, my gut feeling is this will be a shorter term than a longer term. It's kind of really in a bad situation because I should be in hyper mode of selling and getting product out. All the product wrapped up in our warehouse, ready to go out, will go out at the same price it was, given. Now, that being said, any new product coming in, we have to really raise up the prices, even though we have merchandise in stock, because we have to make money on it to also be able to replace it.
Right.
So I don't know exactly. That's why I'm in limbo. I just tell my customers it's not going to be 100%. It's not going to be 50%. But it may fall around the 20 to 25% mark, even though the merchandise is here, but we still need to replace it. So I kind of put a halt on selling as well, because of course everybody wants to call now and place an order because they see the news, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can fill the order. And I'm not going to go back and change all the prices on every item. What I'm going to do for my company is a one-time line item, tariff surcharge, percentage, whatever that percentage is going to be that I decide on. And I probably am not going to be able to make a ruling on that percentage probably till closer to when I get to China.
Okay.
My gut feeling is that will change. We have a meeting scheduled tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get that exemption. We had a meeting last Monday. It went pretty well. I did see that President Trump did lower tariff on some items as far as, I think, electronics and some other stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure on what items. So seeing that he did that, I feel pretty good about maybe perhaps getting this tariff lowered for us in it, or we might get exempted like we did last time.
Okay.
So hard to say.
Well, thank you for that. And then I know, with the Fireworks Brigade podcast, I'm sure you guys will be going in depth, like a full episode on this. When can we expect to see that?
Tomorrow at 2 p.m. is when the episode will be recorded.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, John. Well, I appreciate your time. As an importer, this is the busy time of year for you and guys like me too, even consumers. So,
Yeah.
anything else you wanted to touch on? Any new exciting products for 2025 you want to talk about?
Well, the new smoke cakes that we got in are really kind of cool. You know, when they break with that smoke break and stuff, and that's kind of nice. I think that's going to be a cool item. We
They
saw a
they
little bit at
break
PGI
with
last
smoke.
year. Yeah, it breaks with smoke, so it's just not a smoke tail. When the cake actually breaks, it's a smoke break. So
Okay.
I'm really looking excited to that. I did keep that one coming in because it is something unique. And so that one's really pretty good. I got a few new novelties out, and we're just looking for a really good year. On the retail side, we're not going to see um, much tariff hike for at least Starr Fireworks, that is, because a lot of that merchandise is in already. I don't want to deter the buyer. I want to sell product,
Right.
But
Right.
at the end of the day, if I was a gambling man, which unfortunately I'm not, but if I was a gambling man, I would be scared. I would use all my scare tactics and sell, 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 and say, listen, buy now because in another 2 weeks I'm raising up 20% because of the tariffs. But then, if the tariffs don't go away, how am I going to replace that inventory?
Right.
What I will do in China, I will talk to everybody in China. I get to see their faces. I get to see their expressions. I get to talk to the factory owners, which are a lot of them are now on suspend, and people are laid off. In my opinion, China doesn't have any leverage against in this fight right now. Um, they really don't because we don't export much to them. And I started going to China in 1999. There was 100% tariff on automobiles then. So geez, that could have been lowered over the last 26 years,
Hmm.
but it never was. So we couldn't even compete in these markets. As China grew, we had no way to even expand our sales into China because of the tariffs. So this is something I think that had to be done, and it's needed. Unfortunately, we don't have another country to go to, but I will not be in Cambodia in this next week here, but I will definitely be there probably in September, and maybe we'll look more into that. This way we kind of got a little almost like a hedge on inflation, hedge on any tariffs.
Yeah.
So maybe this might be a thing. I know a lot of my other friends in other companies have just now canceled their containers from China, and they're just buying more from India and other countries. Of course, they have the luxury of doing that because they're not in the fireworks business. But I think this is going to be more short term than long term, and I'm hoping for the best. But I really would rather be in hyper mode and selling and getting these containers in. And usually, my trip to China at this point is logistically figure out what's coming in, what's not coming in, and when's this one leaving and when's that container leaving. And this trip, it's going to be more about picking and choosing the items I want, moving into my warehouse, and then if the tariff comes off or tariff gets lowered, striking at that moment and just saying, hey, these products in the warehouse, ship them.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
for the most part, everything's on suspend, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we have a meeting tomorrow, so hopefully the meeting goes well tomorrow with President Trump and we get some clarity. And on the podcast tomorrow will most likely be Stacy from the NFA president. So
Okay.
we'll see what she has to say.
I will be sure to leave a link in the description of the video for your podcast, as well as any other additional information you and Ron can send over to me. I'll be sure to put that down there. And thanks for, giving me your input on it. And I'm looking forward to that smoke break cake.
Yes.
Now I'm like, that's all I can think about.
There you go. Me and
So
you share the same passion, that's for
yeah,
sure.
gotta have that. When is that getting in?
Should be in with it. It's on the water now, so it should be here within about 2-3 weeks.
Perfect. Yeah, I will be there. Count me in.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, you have a good night, and
Yep.
thanks for thinking of me.
Yep.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, John.
And sorry I was detained earlier, but it's been like this all day today with
No worries.
conference calls.
I'm sure.
And it's just been nuts.
This is your time of year, so I get it.
Yeah.
So now that we've heard from some of these industry leaders who these firework tariffs will directly impact, I wanted to give you guys kind of my closing statement and pretty much what I think about all this. So from what it sounds like, there will be a very real effect on not only the companies, but the consumers. Some advice I would give to any of you watching this, if you care or not, I don't know. But one of the best things that you could do as a consumer right now is definitely do some of your fireworks shopping early. From what it sounds like, there's a lot of backstock of fireworks in America right now that were pre-tariffs, so that means they haven't gone in effect yet. Once all the new fireworks start to arrive, that's when we will see these price increases. So from what I'm understanding, it would probably be in our best interest to purchase our fireworks early this year. I don't know what to expect going forward with the prices. I'm going to be purchasing the same amount of fireworks I usually do either way, whether it's a 500% increase or not. But I know some of you guys only purchase fireworks for your 4th of July shows. So in that circumstance, I would definitely just recommend buy it early, get your shopping done ahead of time. Make sure you're budgeting correctly, and definitely just start getting ready for the future. Make your plans, execute those plans before things like this take effect, and hopefully by doing that, as consumers, we can mitigate these effects that the tariffs will eventually have on us. I hope you guys enjoyed this little informational video. I wanted to get you, like I said, I've just been bombarded. There's another one. I'm bombarded by calls and texts from firework companies wanting me to address this. And like I said, I wasn't even really going to do it, but because of the severity of the situation, I figured I should probably just bring it up. And yes, unfortunately, this is one of those videos where I don't have any fireworks to light off, but you know, if you can kind of see behind me here, I don't know how well you can see that. It is raining, so I can't really do fireworks right now anyway. But stay tuned because we are getting very close to the 4th of July season, and with that, we've also got daily uploads on the way. Lots of good firework content coming soon, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I want to give a big thank you to the guys that were willing to give me a statement and help me to understand and hopefully help you guys understand what's going on in 2025 with the new tariffs. Be sure to spread this video around, leave a like so enough people can see it and understand the issue. Additionally, I will be including a bunch of links in the description for additional information. There's another one. There's another one. Okay, so yeah, check out the links in the description. We're going to have a bunch of these guys, all the stuff they've already done on it, media coverage, all that's going to be in the description. There are some things that you guys can do to try to help lessen the effect of this on consumers, and so that will also be in the description. Just tons of information down there. Be sure to check it out, and we'll see you in the next one.